40 minut.
Češi!
Kdo neskáče, není Čech. Hop, hop, hop.
Češi!
Kanada!
Kanada! Češi! 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 Češi!
Zabeníku.
Tomas Hansen of Latvia, Miroslav Stoltz of Switzerland, the referees for this game between Canada and Czechia on the final day of group play at the 2023 World Hockey Championship. And on the line is second place in Group B. It's very simple. The winner gets it, and will play Finland in Tampere in the quarterfinals on Thursday. The loser will finish third and await the loser of the USA-Sweden game from Group A. Andre Tournier's team has lost back-to-back, coming off a shootout loss to Norway, Canada's second ever defeat at the hands of Norway. Meanwhile, Kari Jalanen's team comes in with an identical 4-1-1 record. Lost its last game 3-2 to Switzerland on Sunday. Roman Chervenka having a strong tournament for Czechia. Dominik Kubalik, his teammate, leads the tournament in points and goals. Chervenka was the MVP of this tournament last year. There was goaltender Samuel Montembeau, the starter from Canada, 26-year-old. Allowed 3 goals on 26 shots in Canada's loss to Switzerland in his last start. And for Czechia, it's Karel Vejmelka. He did not dress in Czechia's first 3 games, then got wins against Slovenia and Norway. Has a 2-0 record and 957 save percentage.
But he's played Slovenia and Norway.
He's their NHL goalie last couple of years with the Arizona Coyotes of the NHL.
Good boys, Jack. Welcome to the event. Let's go.
And away we go. Miroslav Stoltz gets it down, and Canada brings it up. Mackenzie Weegar tied for second in tournament points. Slides it up for Michael Carcone. Here's Carcone on it. Carcone shoots. He failed on that. Picked up by Thomas Kundratek and played ahead for Chervenka. Slides it ahead to Vladimir Sobotka. And Sobotka to Chervenka. Led the tournament points last year. McBain steamrolled through Kundratek and played it back to center ice. House full of Czechs here in Riga on this Tuesday afternoon. Just after 4:15 here, local time still to come tonight. Latvia will take on Switzerland tonight. Latvia needs a point in that game to qualify for the quarterfinals. It'll be a madhouse in here this evening.
This is a nice little appetizer to what's coming later. Big game here, though.
Joseph. Played wide. Lawton plays it back across. Big hit there by Jake Neighbors. The puck bounces back to Kundratek. Michael Kempney, Stanley Cup winner of the Washington Capitals in 2018, plays that back in. It's picked out by Brad Hunt. Rink wide he goes for Ethan Bear. And Bear slaps that back down to the Czechia zone. Kaut slides it in for Czechia. And here's Martin Kaut with it. Slides that back. So Horner moves in, drops that back, and the long shot by Dvorak deflects away. Adams Horner, a late addition to the Czech lineup. They lost a couple of key players to injury. Lucas Sedlak and Philip Hedl, both injured this tournament, so the Czechs were able to replace them. But Hedl, the New York Rangers star, and Sedlak, who was in the NHL this year, both big losses for the Czechs.
So Horner played well stepping in last game.
Here's Weegar. Looks back across for Milan Lucic. Shoots, that's blocked. Cody Glass taken down. Lucic wins that battle for the puck. Weegar steps up, hacks that towards the goal, and Vejmelka knocks it away. Cody Glass shields off Dvorak. Lucic picks it up for Glass. Cody Glass taking the place of Joe Veleno on this Canadian line. Veleno suspended for 5 games for a stomping incident, if you want to call it that, a kicking incident against Dino Niederreiter of Switzerland.
I think stomp's the correct way to describe it. In 5 games, a massive suspension in a short tournament. Problem was he was centering Canada's most productive 5-on-5 line at the time.
Chervenka brings it out and drops that back. Winding in, that long shot by Zaboral is gloved by Montembeau.
So much crisper start for Canada in this game. You can just tell the level of intensity is there that wasn't last game against Norway. And I think, you know, as a Canadian, a loss against Norway, it's either going to do one or two things: derail the whole tournament, or perhaps be a springboard to a higher level of engagement. And they're hoping it's a springboard.
Vladimir Sobotka, one of the top face-off men of the tournament. Back to Zaboral. Michal Jordan plays that back in. Tyler Myers picks off that pass, and Myers shrugs off Kubalik. Counter to Foley. Slides at the Carcone. Celebrating his 27th birthday on the weekend. Myers plays it back in. In comes Jack McBain for it. Tied up by Jordan. And here is Zaboral of the Boston Bruins. Plays it back across. Last year the Bruins had two representatives, sort of. David Krejci had gone back to Czechia, but the longtime Bruin played with David Pastrnak. As Kondratek works in. Kondratek shoots. Wants the ball to save, and Myers picks out the rebound and finds it ahead for Carcone. Carcone spins back. And drops it back to Pierre-Olivier Joseph. Myers snaps it across the Lawton. In comes Scott Lawton. Veteran Philadelphia Flyer pivots back. Ethan Bear, across he goes. Justin Barron shoots. Milk a save. Rebound tapped wide by Jack Quinn. Knocked down the line by Lawton. Fires again. That floats wide. Here's Jack Quinn. Spins and shoots. With the skate of Kondratek, plays it high off the glass and back to center ice. Justin Barron fires that in. The Montreal Canadiens defenseman makes his way off the ice. Kondratek steps in for it, picked up by Krebs. Peyton Krebs works it and shoots, and Vamilka makes the glove save.
Physical play. Canada's engaged early. As see McBain running over to Dracek. Kraus, this is part of the game plan. Also means when you can hit, it means you're skating, because you're near the puck and you're arriving on time. When you're chasing the game, you're not moving quite right. Those hits don't present themselves. Tournier felt confident his team would respond. So far they have.
Kempney for Count. Back goes Uyghur for it. Jake Neighbors couldn't pick that free. There's a Horna long shot kicked out by Montembeault. Krebs. The Buffalo Sabres tries to dig that free. Behind the goal now is Zahorna. Centers it, and Count couldn't reach that. Here's Zahorna back on it. And he goes to Schmeichel. Long shot by Kostelnik. That was blocked by Neighbors. Jake Middleton scoops that to Neighbors. Back across to Uyghur. Five and a half gone here in a scoreless first period. And through center ice comes Pierre-Olivier Joseph. Loose behind the goal. Here's Glass on it. Vojinilek picks it up for Czechia. He's a late addition to their team as well. He was the playoff MVP of the Czech Extra League for Trinec, which won its fourth consecutive Czech Extra League championship. Michael Spacek brings it back with Vojinilek. Plays that back down to the Canadian zone. Ron Lentz, number 25 up there as well, was also a late addition for the Czechs. Used to be once you named your 22 and 3, you could not make replacements, but you can now apply if a player is done for the tournament to have him replaced. Lead pass goes to Jack McBain working in. On Nemechek, McBain holds, goes back to Middleton, shoots, that's blocked, rebound, he put it high. Uyghur steps up. Here's McBain on it, backhands that wide. Carcone works it and shoots, and Vamilka makes the save, short side. 13:08 to go in a scoreless first period here in Riga. score here in the first period. Canada coming off back-to-back losses to Switzerland and Norway, but has outshot its opponents in every single period in every game.
Volume, and again, quantity, but like an uptick in quality as well.
Carcone works that free. Carcone going to throw that back for Middleton. Jake Middleton back with it. Back down to Carcone. Winger steps up. Looks back down to Carcone. The pass too far for him. Middleton steps up. Picked up by Costella. Threads that pass ahead. Broken up at center ice by Toffoli. The Canadian captain swings it back across to Carcone.
Tyler Toffoli's played with just about every single forward on this team. He's been on about 6 different lines so far in the tournament. And a new one again today.
There, lead pass to Scott Lott. Lott winds in. That's broken up. And Dvorak plays it back across. Moved out by Kempney. Race for it now. Fleck works back. Fleck feeds it back across. That's knocked away by Krause. And a race for it now. Jack Quinn. In comes Quinn for the loose puck. Walks in and shoots at the short side of the goal. Quinn sends it back in front. Just missed Krause with that pass. And Quinn plays it back to Bear. Ethan Bear across to Bear, and that shot was blocked. Gets it back, fires again, and again hits a leg in front. Quinn feeds that back to Krause for Barron. Back across to Krause with a one-time shot. Vinoka gets a piece of that. Here's Quinn again. Banks that back. Takes the return pass and fires. That goes wide. At the point is Neighbors. Good pressure here by Canada. Barron has a look. Feeds it across, and a hard shot by Quinn. Deflected wide by Dvorak. Kempney moves it back out. Poke check at center ice by Pierre-Olivier Joseph.
The puck pursuit by Canada is so much faster in this game than against Norway. They're turning pucks over left and right in the offensive zone.
Norway beaten earlier today by Slovakia, so the Slovaks will wait to see the result of the game tonight here. If Latvia doesn't get a point, Slovakia advances to the quarters. In comes Cutler with a shot that goes high. Picked up now by Neighbors. Drops it back to Krebs. In comes Peyton Krebs with it. He's taken down. Penalty coming out to Czechia. It'll be Yuri Schmeichel who goes off, and Canada gets the game's first power play with 10:42 to go in the period.
They play with the puck often enough in the offensive zone. Someone's going to reach. Someone's going to pull you down. Schmeichel will be going for the trip on Peyton Krebs. There's a chance by Jack Quinn on the quick break. He was late getting back, which means he's early going forward. And just on the outside of the net with the pass to Krause was probably the closest chance of them all. So Canada to the power play. An area where they're usually very good. Not so much in this tournament. Just 3 power play goals on the tournament.
Lucic, Uyghur, and Toffoli have them.
Just not enough in their 16 attempts.
Lott for the face-off against Sabotka. Scramble draw, poked back by Quinn, but picked up by Fleck. Jakob Fleck's been an energetic player for Czechia in this tournament. Those against Slovenia and Norway so far. Here's Uyghur. Up after Quinn. Moranek stepped up on him as Uyghur has to retreat. Carcone back across to Quinn. Winds his way in as Canada gets set up. Back across to Carcone. Uyghur to fully shoots, and Vinoka got a blocker on that.
On the top of his stick.
Uyghur. Back down to Carcone. Uyghur to Foley. Shoots! Rebound in front. One poking at it. Vinoka's got it. The pileup now in the Czech crease. As 7 skaters are in there. And Vinoka's got the puck.
Oh, the first attempt by Toffoli was a shot. The second attempt was a slap pass into Lott. Here's the shot. What does this hit? And it felt like the knob, and he had him beat, but did not beat the top of the stick. And then the second one zips it through. Rebound right there, and Scott Lott just can't jump on it fast enough. Decent looks for the power play.
Vinoka was a Nashville 5th-round pick in 2015 and played in Czechia his entire career until 2 years ago when he joined Arizona. Kraus. Back to Hunt. Krebs looks back down to Glass. Cody Glass, who won the key face-off that set the game-tying goal for Lawson Krause. A big goal as it turned out. Had Canada lost in regulation, we need a regulation win today to finish second. Krause plays that back. Here's Hunt with it. Hunt back to Krebs. Walks in, feeds it across. Fantilli with a shot. And that's stopped. Hunt's got to retreat. 2-on-1 short-handed down for Czechia. Chernak going to work that back across. Was off the stick of Glass.
Good back check by Glass. He had to dig in to try to get the stick in that passing lane. He'll need a change now.
30 seconds to go in the Canadian power play. Adam Fantilli, who was ejected from that game against Norway, takes the return pass. Shoots. Bounces back to Krebs. Krebs works that back to Uyghur across. Brad Hunt winds and shoots. That's tipped in front by Krause. Krebs back to Fantilli. Final seconds now. Fantilli shoots. And Vamilka makes the save on that. Uyghur pokes it back ahead. Knocked down by Kempney with a high stick. And the play is called as the penalty cycle expires. Still no score. 8:40 to go here in the opening period. No score here in the first period. Still to come tonight here in Riga. Latvia takes on Switzerland. Theoretically, the loser of this game could still finish fourth if Latvia were to defeat Switzerland.
Canada has a tiebreaker on Latvia, depending on how this game shakes out. But yes.
Myers winds that back to Joseph. Lucic plays it back behind the goal. Stalik picks it back up, being watched by Blay. And it skirts by Joseph back down the ice. A race for it.
How is that not icing?
Icing waved off as Myers got back, but you gotta look back at the linesman about that. Lucic.
You thought you believe we're going to win the race, but Tyler Myers faster than you might expect from the guy his size.
He can still motor. As Blay sends it back down the Czech zone. Sweden a 1-0 lead on the U.S. Leo Carlson, draft eligible, has scored for Sweden.
And if Fantilli take note, your turn.
That's right. Carlson projected to be at least top 4 pick in the upcoming draft, maybe top 3. That play is called at the Czech line. Hey, the Yoggers are here.
Yeah, they are. Mullets are us. Is the guy in the Blue Jay hat not wearing a wig?
He might not be. That might actually be his own hair.
I hope not. That's tremendous.
There's a group of guys in Calgary that are the traveling Yoggers. These might be the Czech version.
Now, actually played long enough, you can have multiple continents having his own traveling group wearing his old jerseys.
Here's Krause on it. Lays that back. Barron back across to Barron with a shot. Vamilka save. Rebound loose in front. And Lott plays it across to Krause. Back he goes to Barron. Barron shoots. Blocked in front. And Bear taken down. Plays that to Krause. Bouncing puck goes to Jack Quinn. Throws it back in front. Bear with a shot. That goes high. Great pressure by Canada in the first period. Nothing to show for it so far, but Bain was taken down hard. He's slow to get to his feet.
the end of the play. He's okay, but that will be the challenge. Can you play like this if you're Canada enough, long enough, this well? And they're generating lots of chances, lots of shots. Not the sharp so far.
Lots of Czechs in the house here tonight. Tournament organizers estimate there are more than 3,000 Czechs here for the tournament. Spot check, throws it back in front. That's not cleared by McBain. More than 4,000 Swiss fans have been here at various points. To Foley, throws that rink wide. And Carcone ranges back and banks it back around to Uyghur. Uyghur, long cross ice pass for Krebs, misfired. Here's Kempney back with it. Back down the Canadian zone as Myers goes back. Bringing his third World Championship for Canada. Tyler Toffoli, the only other Canadian with World Championship experience, won a gold in 2015 when Canada won a perfect 10-0-0. All 10 wins in regulation. And cashed a $1 million bonus for it. Congratulations. Shoots! That was blocked by Neighbors. And Sammy Blais brings the puck out. Krebs joins him on the rush. In comes Peyton Krebs. Moves back in, waits for help to arrive. Neighbors has retrieved his stick. 5.5 to go in the opening period. Neighbors. Tied up in the corner. Kempney. Squeezed there by Krebs. Neighbors. Throws that to the corner. Here's Blais after it. Sammy Blais. Up for Lucic. Lucic trying to poke that back. Glass. Leaves it there for Hunt winding in. Brad Hunt. Drops that back to Cody Glass. Hunt could really rip it from the point, but that pass is picked up by Cervenka. And the top line goes back for Czechia, but Fantilli on the back check played that away.
And the back pressure also massive uptick.
In comes Cody Glass with a step. Sapporo steps into him and knocks him off the puck. At the point, squeezed by Joseph and back down as Montembeault is back to play it. Across to Barron, his Montreal Canadiens teammate. In comes Fantilli. Up for Krause. Lawson Krause walks in and shoots. That was blocked by Michal Jordan. And that hobbled Jordan. Fantilli trying to dig it free. He gets thrown down. Zahorna flips it across to Count. Shoots from a sharp angle. Barron got a stick on that. Joseph. To Lawton. Rink wide he goes to Quinn. Looks into Barron jumping in. Justin Barron. Gathers up the rolling puck. It's poked off his stick by Count. Shots are 13-4 Canada here in the period. Long shooting, gloved down by Vejmelka. Sweet run shooting the U.S. 6-0 in that game in Temple. Spot check. Winds it across the line. Here's Uyghur on it. Back around to Middleton. High off the glass, gloved down by Toffoli. He finds McBain, but skipped off his stick. Now gloved ahead. Bojidilla lost the puck to McBain. Uyghur jumps up. Uyghur winds in, drops that back for Toffoli. To Middleton walking and shoots. That goes off the skate of Dvorak. Sent back in front by Carcone. Kicked away by Vejmelka. Great pace here in the opening period. Now Myers shoots it back in front. That's blocked. It's set up by Nemecek. That'll be icing against the Czechs with tired players on the ice.
Canada keeps pushing, get the puck in deep. Point shots, and Ethan Bear gets all of this one. Just tipped by Quinn. Oh my goodness, just catches the shoulder of Vejmelka. That's a good reach. Nemecek's not really accounting for the stick poking past him, either is Vejmelka. Fortunate for the puck just to hit him. And so Canada generates their offense behind the goal line, to the points, down to the nets.
Myers to Joseph. Feeds that down to Krebs. Back in front. And the shot taken by Neighbors. Gloved by Vejmelka. And he hangs on to that. 3:04 to go in the opening period. Still no score here in Riga, Latvia.
They can do it. You got to be fully committed to the bit.
And you probably need some jet fuel to go along with it.
And they are both those things.
3:04 to go here in the opening period. That Swedish goal, by the way, by Carlson on a 5-on-3. Myers shoots, kicked up by Pavelka. Michael Asimon of the Tampa Bay Lightning got a game misconduct. 5 in a major for kneeing. And the Swedes scored a subsequent 5-on-3. Here's Myers walking up and shoots. Pavelka pad save. Neighbors with a chance. And Pavelka makes the stop with the rebound.
Peppering them right now. 15 shots first period.
Olivia Joseph steps up. Neighbors trying to work that puck free. Krebs comes in as well. Baranek is standing on the puck. And that's finally Zaborov rather goes back. Here's Kempney being watched there by Blake. Krebs.
Oh, good forecheck. Through a penalty. Well done.
Yeah, Kempney's going to get called there for the hold of the stick. And so Canada gets the power play again with 2:11 to go in the first period.
And it's all just a function of board work. The battle on the half wall. Krebs works through it, gets body position. Kempney absolutely grabs his stick with his left hand.
Number 6, 2 minutes for holding the
Because he's so tired, and Canada goes back to the power play again. The second of the first period. First one had some good looks. Tyler Toffoli, a one-timer slap pass. And they'll try to start the power play with the puck as two of the best. Lawton and Savodka, two of the best face-off guys in the tournament going at it.
They know each other well from their days in the NHL. Savodka played for Boston, St. Louis, and Buffalo.
That looked a lot like a skate to me.
It did, and you're not allowed to do that, but...
Which is what Scott Lawton saying, like, hang on.
Here's Uyghur on the Canadian power play, drops it off to Quinn. Jack Quinn's been his first full season in the NHL this year in Buffalo. Top 10 pick by the Sabres a couple of years ago. His first pro year, he was the American Hockey League Rookie of the Year. Uyghur. Tap back by Quinn.
Gotta pass that flat though if you're Jack Quinn. He sends the rolling puck at Neighbors who's trying, or Carcone who's trying to hit it with speed. Gotta get it flat.
In comes Carcone with it now. Rings that back around. Quinn drops that back. Lawton moves up. Bouncing puck in the corner. Lawton trying to work that free, but it's sent down the ice by Jordan. Here is Brad Hunt. Split the season between Colorado's NHL team and their American League affiliate, the Colorado Eagles. In comes Krebs. Rink wide, he goes for Glass. Back in front, just missed by Fantilli. Final minute now of the period. Krause drops it off to Krebs, to Hunt. Cross it goes to Glass. Glass feeds it back across. Krebs shoots, scores! Peyton Krebs, power play goal, and Canada's taking a 1-0 lead. Krebs, the 12th different Canadian to score this tournament.
Oh, Canada deserves that lead after this period. That was their 19th shot on goal, but what happens different here is that they go through the seam. The pass here for Cody Glass through the seam. Forced Pavelka go post to post. He actually loses the net a little bit. Krebs able to go back against the grain. Good job by Krause and Fantilli in front, tying up sticks in attention, and a bit of a no-looker. Sauce. And Krebs gets it away quickly and accurately to open the scoring.
Peyton Krebs, acquired by Buffalo from Vegas in the Jack Eichel deal. Was a first-round pick of the Golden Knights, 17th overall in 2019.
It was Peyton Krebs' good work that drew the penalty. He's the guy who cashes in on the power play.
One of 4 players in this Canadian roster who played in the 2021 World Junior Championship team, coached by Andre Tourigny, that lost the gold medal game to the U.S. Now bouncing puck goes back. Kempney fires, ripped that high. Bouncing puck on the side of the goal goes to Savodka. 20 seconds to go in the period. Kondratek back across. Kempney in for Savodka. Poke free by Myers. Blay sends it to the line and just out. And Kempney has to retreat. Being shouted there by McBain. Now for Cervenka, and Joseph lays it back down to the Czech zone. So Canada with a wide edge in play in the opening period, outshoots Czechia 19-4, and goes to the dressing room with a 1-0 lead. And a power play goal by Peyton Krebs here at the 2023 World Hockey Championship.
That's how we fucking play. That's how we play. That's it, boys. That's a fucking working period. That's fucking Canadian hockey, man. Really fucking good, boys.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go! Hands off, stick, stick! Come on, Tyler, play the puck! Good! Good, easy! Let's go! О, в нем бус, бля. Наверное, тут можно опять позвонить. Наверное. Блять, вот. Опа! Наверное, пацаны.
Tak, pojďme. Melko was under siege in that opening period. Faced 19 shots, allowed 1 goal. A power play goal by Peyton Krebs late in the period, giving Canada a 1-0 lead. A win for Canada would send them to Tampere, Finland tomorrow to take on the host Finns. Harry Jalonen, former coach of the Finnish national team, is now behind the bench for Czechia.
And the loser gets the loser of Sweden-USA.
Potentially.
Potentially, yeah, there's still Latvia factor in there as well. Correct.
Pull it. No, okay. When he's pull it, then I drop it, okay? First, second, drop.
Okay, so that's how that works. Miroslav Stoltz from Switzerland patiently explaining how face-offs work to all of us. Lead pass for Cervenka just missed there. And Cervenka back around for Sobotka. Picked free by Michael Carconi, up ahead for Jack McBain. Knocked down by Sobotka.
You have to assume Czechia is going to be better.
Right.
And they were off that period. Canada was quicker, stronger, just generally better. Czechia will respond. Expect them to in the second period.
Michael Kempny works it back in for Czechia. One thing of note, their power play has been exceptional. 8 for 22 so far in the tournament. Haven't had one yet in the game. That's knocked down by Baranek. But Jake Middleton's got some time to swing back and play that back down to the Czech line. That hit Jack McBain in the back of the skate.
It's okay. This guy, Scott Lawton, hadn't jumped on the ice yet. Good discipline at the bench.
And you don't have to, he can hit you just can't play.
This guy wasn't on the ice. We can play if he wanted to. He's the 5th guy on the ice, so no problem there. As Czechia was overwhelmed by the forecheck. I mean, just the pace. It wasn't like a super physical forecheck where they're hitting them. It was just the stick checking and the pace taking away their time and space.
Czechs are 4-1-1 like Canada. They've had some nervous moments in this tournament. Down 2-0 to Slovenia with 2 minutes to go in the second period. They scored a late power play goal that came back in the third period. They scored a tying goal with 3 minutes left in the third to force overtime against Latvia. Racing back is Joseph, a quick skater.
That's a race. Joseph against Fleck. That is...
Fleck can really fly.
Oh, speedsters.
Here's Joseph. Rink wide. He goes for Lawton. Scott Lawton shoots, and Lamoka waves at that. Joseph. Bangs it back down. Krause goes after him. Austin Krause. Moved that down to Lawton. Myers backing it up. And held by Quinn. Feeds it across to Joseph. And Joseph bangs it back down to Lawton. At the point is Myers. Across he goes to Joseph. To Quinn. Jack Quinn tied up by Costella. Krause spilled his man. Now plays that back as he knocked down Chernov. Here's Krause with it. Poke back to center ice. Lawson Krause was the sweetener Florida sent to Arizona to take the David Bolin contract. It's turned out to be pretty sweet. In comes Fleck, throws it back in front, count, and score! Martin Count ties the game early in the second period.
Just a terrible line change for Canada. Allows Czechia to go with a quick up. And you see everyone heading off, tired. Fleck stretches it out. And once he gets it inside Bear, he's got no support inside. The other defenseman is nowhere near getting back into the play. Snapped up by Dvorak. Yeah, it's a really nice play by Fleck. You see Hunt trying to get back, but he's nowhere near it. And 5-hole for Kaut on Montembeault. And just like that, tied back up. All that good work by Canada, undone by a bad line change. We're tied at 1.
Fifth shot of the game for Czechia. Count was a first-round pick of Colorado in 2016 or 2018 when it was moved this year. And then a chance, there's a shot by Krebs at the goalpost. Loose back in front again, Krebs back after it.
Neighbors and a Hornet just crashed into each other.
Here's Schmeichel, drops it back, played back across, and Montembeault makes a save on Count. Puck still loose, but back into Hornet, tapped it wide. Everyone thought Montembeault had the puck.
Schmeichel had an empty net and he wrapped it into the pile.
Bounces back in front. Blay lost the puck for a moment. Now picked up by Hunt. Funny game, this.
The wind must be blowing from right to left.
Bear. Up for Neighbors. Knocked down at the line. Bank back down to the Canadian zone. Brad Hunt picks it back up. That's held the line by Kostelic. Shoots. Montembeault save. Rebound loose in front. Backhanded out by Neighbors. Now this Czech crowd's back into it. Neighbors banks it across to Fantilli. In comes Fantilli with a shot, and Van Milka makes the save through the screen of Cody Glass.
You mentioned how good Czechia is on the power play. You don't want to take anything silly here if you're Canada. Zohorna comes late to the party. It's a 3-on to the first save on Kaut is just a brilliant one. Montembeault gets across, but what a stick from Sammy Blais.
Wow.
He comes down with a hard stick to stop Schmeichel from the wrap, and you'll get a great view of it here. Schmeichel's going to tuck this in the empty net. Oh, he beats him at the spot and wins the battle. Whereas Zohorna tries to pick it out of the air wide. And the goal has gone right to the legs of Czechia.
Off the face-off, Cody Glass knocked off the puck. It was Glass who won the face-off for the tying goal for Lawson Krause yesterday. Weegar up for Fantilli to Glass. First ever draft pick of the Vegas Golden Knights. You can feel it in the building when the Czech fans are up and hopping. Now a chance. Lick put that wide, picked up by Saboka. Back he goes to Dratic, one shot, that deflects wide. Kempney. Back run for Chernok, Jordan. Lays it back in deep. Lucic pokes that back to center ice, and Fantilli sweeps it down. Czechia's last win over Canada at the World Championship was in 2010, a 3-2 victory. Czechia won the gold medal that year.
But they have a winning record against Canada historically.
Overall, yeah.
32-30. 6. That's well done by Montembeault. It's a nice recovery save after getting beat on the breakaway by the same guy. Just Canada got him 5-hole. Man, oh man, thanks for the wrist curls, Sammy Blais. Just enough to keep it away. Schmeichel.
His teammates giving him a pound on the bench, watching that on the scoreboard. Bain wins that face-off back to Jake Middleton, one of the two Jakes in this Canadian roster. Here's Milan Lucic. Chips that back down to the Czech zone and heads off on a change. offside indicated. Canada tags back up. Kostalik. With Chernock filled in there by McBain. They're jousting in front of the Czech bench. So play continues 4-on-4. Actually, less than that. There's 3 players tangled up on the Czech bench. They finally call play offside at the Czech line.
The Czechs are right back in this game. And he's got the commitment physically, the level of engagement is ramped up since the start of the second period. And this goal, nice reception by Fleck to pull it to open ice around Bear so we can make that pass to allow the breakaway. Fleck has been as noticeable as anyone not on the first line for Czechia throughout this tournament. There's another dump in on the net. They do like that.
Now the Hornets centers it. Bouncing puck, Montembeault down, pokes at that. Picked up by Quinn. Puts it ahead to Lott. Krause and Quinn join the rushes. Quinn comes in, ridden off the puck by the giant Zahorna, who's 6'6", 230 pounds. Got into a few games with Calgary and Toronto in the NHL this year. At the point, Nemecek shoots. That goes wide. Schmeichel. Back for Spacek, being tied up there by Quinn. Spacek flips it back across. Zaboral able to hold the line. He shoots, it's off a stick. Up and out of play.
Zahorna, who jumped in late after his American League team was knocked out. He's been good in this couple games. On the spot, involved in the forecheck. You notice his size, and now he's centering a banger line with Schmeichel and Couch. They've opened the scoring for Czechia. It's always tough to get parachuted in after 4 or 5 games that your team has played.
Yeah.
Got to pick up where they are. Even if you know the guys in the system, it's not that easy.
Latvia's got 2 new additions to their line for the game tonight due to injury. One of them arrived last night.
Well, it depends where they're arriving from.
Battle for the puck behind the Canadian goal, picked out by Spacek. He's tied up there by McBain. And Nemecek has to retreat with Toffoli all over him. On's about to play it. Barron has it taken away. Wojciech works it behind the Canadian goal. Wojciech plays that back to Kempney. Shoots, it got through Montembeault. Save, rebound off the goalpost. That was Rodden Lentz who rang that off the iron. There. Up ahead to Carcone. Czechs are making a late change. Carcone's got some room. Works in, spins a backhand shot. Pavelka for the save.
That was smooth.
Kubalik being harassed by Krebs, who wins that battle for the puck. Drops it back to Middleton. Sammy Blaze moves it back down to the Czech zone. Cervenka up to Savoka. Weaver rounds it high off the glass. Kostalik bumped Blay off stride. Blay thought that was interference. Now Neighbors gathers the puck at center ice. Jake Neighbors. As it knocked away by Middleton, the puck goes into the Canadian bench. 12:14 to go here in the second period. A 1-1 tie between Canada and Czechia. Riga, Latvia. A 1-1 tie between Canada and Czechia. That's the same score in Tampere, Finland between Sweden and the United States. Nick Bonino scored a power play goal late in the first period to tie that game up after the Swedes scored the 5-on-3.
They have been the two best teams over there by a considerable margin as well, rolling through the opposition.
Bad bounce from Vamilka, bouncing back in front. Lucic couldn't quite reach that. Fantilli shoots, and Vamilka's seen enough of that. He'll hang on to the rolling puck. That was close.
Lucic's just giving a look. Are you sure you really want to do that? I don't think you do, and I don't think he does. Here's the dump in. And Vamilka goes to get it, gets off its stanchion, then off his skate, and he's pretty tardy getting back there. Goes around the far side of the net. Lucic almost got a piece. You're pushing and shoving Lucic, even if you don't want to, you cannot back down. Like, you got to stick your nose in there anyways.
A blast for the face-off against Chernak. And Chernak wins that back to Dvorak. Myers holds the line for Canada. That long reach. Plays it back ahead for Lucic. Chernak knocks it around for Jordan. And Baranek with a long pass ahead. Myers goes back with Fleck bearing in on him. Fleck made his national team debut for the Czechs at the age of 28 a couple of years ago.
This won't be his last appearance, that's for sure.
In comes Myers, that's offside. And the Czechs don't like that much.
Canada's got the right guys out there. Myers and Lucic. That was a little bit late. He probably didn't have to shoot that. That wasn't a simultaneous with the whistle kind of release.
Right.
Take a listen. that's long gone. And Tyler Myers just wastes one anyways. Now he's going to get a talking to by the officials.
Some of the players have talked about how hard it is to hear on the ice.
And that's a plausible excuse. I don't buy it for a second, but I like where your head's at, because you can say, hey, I hear whistles all game. And you do, because the crowd whistles as part of their cheering when they're voicing their displeasure with something. It's just Tyler Myers potentially being annoying. Which at times can be part of the strategy in this game.
Zaboral. Lead pass for Count, missed. Montevo for Bear. Kempe jumped up to keep it alive for Czechia. There's a Hornet on it for Schmeichel. Back to Kempe, slaps it across. Zaboral for Kaut. Shot was blocked by Lawton. Kaut gets it back and shoots. He hammered that wide, and it goes back down the ice.
And he was trying to pepper that in off some piece of Schmeichel in the back door. Anything, shin pad, knee, skate, whatever.
Krause. They sweep that back in, knocked away by Kaut. That was acquired by San Jose this year in a Matt Nieto deal with Colorado. Nieto has spent most of his career bouncing back and forth between the Sharks and the Avalanche.
He knows two teams like him.
Nemechek lead pass for Vojinovic. Works it on Hunt. Shoots from a sharp angle at the side of the goal. Here's Lentz back with it. Lentz throws that down to Spacek. Spacek back for Nemechek. Long shot by Kostelic. Knocked down by Montevo. Bear. Taylor there with Vojinovic. And Toffoli outlets for Lawton along with Krause. Played back across. Toffoli working as Canada's changing. That's knocked off Toffoli's stick and sent back down to the Canadian zone as Uyghur goes back. Jack McBain, Toronto native for Toffoli. In for Middleton, shovels it across. Carcone walks right in. Carcone sends it back in front. Tipped wide by McBain.
Well, Tyler Toffoli just got upended. He banged his head off the ice. That was a huge incidental collision. He is not yet up.
And play continuing as Jordan works in, but the play is called at the Canadian line, and Tyler Toffoli goes slowly to the Canadian bench. 9:53 to go here in the second period. 1-1 the score. 9:53 to go here in the second period. Canada and Czechia tied at 1 on the final day of the preliminary round of the 2023 World Hockey Championship. The quarterfinals will take place here in Riga and Tampere on Thursday. The semifinals in Tampere on Saturday, and the gold medal and bronze medal games will be there on Sunday. Al Jordan fires that down in the Canadian zone. There's Middleton on it. Czechs was bronze medalist last year, their first medal in 9 years of the World Championship. A rollicking bronze medal game. And Savoka plays it back for Kondratek. Long shot, Montembeault the save. And brought it down by Quinn along with Krause. Boston Krause bouncing puck skipped away from him, and Savoka has it back.
That point shot got something on Montembeault. He was shaking out his blocker hand as though we got a stinger down to his blocker.
Czechs won that bronze medal game 8-4, trailed 3-1 after the opening period. Earl Vejmelka was in goal for that game, was pulled after the first period, down 3-1. In comes Quinn. Puck rolled away from him. Fleck has it back. And Tyler Toffoli is standing at the Canadian bench. We'll see if he comes back. Baranek feeds it across, and that's knocked wide by Chernov. Blaine works it back across for Quinn. And Quinn lofts that towards the goal, gloved by Vejmelka.
Here you see the attempted slap pass. He's going right across the front of the net. Oh. It was there. I think Schmeichel moved his stick out of the way, and you're trying to spot a puck. Here's the collision. Oh. Onto the back. The tailbone. Don't think he hit his head. And that's not on Lentz. That was an accidental collision. Lentz is trying to cut up the ice, and Toffoli didn't see him coming.
Krebs for the face-off against Zahorna. Zahorna came to the NHL as an undrafted free agent signed by Pittsburgh in 2020. Went to Calgary on waivers, then traded to Toronto this year. As you mentioned, joined this Czech team after the Toronto Marlies were knocked out of the American Hockey League playoffs. Chipped ahead, in comes Zahorna. Gets a step and shoots, and Montembeault makes the save. Rebound loose in front, bounces back to center ice. Joseph goes back for it. Watched by Spacek. Turn over to Lentz, chips it back in front, picked off by Myers. Up ahead for Krebs. Looks for Neighbors. And Kempney sweeps back. Neighbors stepped hard into him. And Krebs bumped into Zaboral. Adam Fantilli back for it. 18-year-old, draft-eligible Fantilli. That's stripped away. Now knocked back to Kempney. Winds and shoots. He pounded that wide to race for it. Now Glass gets into it.
4-on-2.
He's got Lucic, Fantilli with him. Drop for Lucic. It goes off a leg and wide. Bojanilik works in along with Spacek. Bojanilik on Barrett, who squeezes him off the puck. Here is Cody Glass. Now with Nashville. Fired down by Hunt. Kubalik picks up for Czechia. Their top line is on the ice. Brought in by Kubalik. Drops it back for Cervenka. Across he goes Savoka. And that pass was blocked by Weegar. Fantilli picks it free. Turn it over to Cervenka. And Cervenka plays it back in. Middleton across to Weegar. We talk all the time about how rare it is for draft eligibles to play the World Junior. Never mind the Senior Men's World Championship. Back at the point. Dvorak is shot, and Montembeault able to make the save.
Big Radim Zohorna, we were talking about him for good reason. He gets this puck, and watch where, when he picks it up, how far away he gets it from his body. Right away pulls it out front, and Joseph can't get a stick on it because it's so far in front of the body, and he's still able to elevate, trying to go short side. Not an easy shot to make. Not an easy guy to check. Unless you're in perfect position, he's going to have the reach on you.
I think NHL teams look at the package and see the raw ability.
Yeah, and then you look at the points and you're wondering that skill that
off the draw, the shot hammered by Fleck, steered wide by Montembeault.
Just doesn't translate into production.
Ethan Bear plays it across to Myers. In comes Tyler Myers with it now. Myers shoots, and Vejmelka makes the stop on that. More pushing and shoving breaks out in front of the Czech goal.
This game has now evolved into a very typical Czechia-Canada game.
Right.
Get a little chippy. Guys aren't that happy with each other.
Canada won 6-1 last year in the semifinals. Canada went on to lose the gold medal game in overtime in controversial fashion to Finland. Czechs won that crazy bronze medal game against the U.S.
Fleck and Blay having a little conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was good-natured or not.
I think Fleck initiated it.
Yeah.
Off the draw, Middleton back to Uyghur, shoots. Milka eats that up and hangs on.
Good job by the Czechia defenseman. Mackenzie Uyghur, the offensive and defensive leader for Canada.
Leads in minutes played. Into the game tied for second in tournament scoring.
Not amongst defensemen in the entire tournament.
Among everyone. Watton for the face-off against Zahorna.
It's getting big responsibility. Defensive zone starts here for Zahorna now.
Yeah. Cow chips it across to Zahorna. Works it on Uyghur. Drops it back to Schmeichel, who began the tournament wearing a full face shield. He took a stick in the face in practice the day before the tournament started.
Sounds like too intensive practice for any time of the year, let alone the day before a tournament starts.
Schmeichel picks that free in the corner. Drops it back in front. Out of the reach of Zahorna. Nemecek a shot. That was blocked. Nemecek gets it back. Fires again. Blocked again. Loose puck rolls down, and Montembeault hangs on to that.
Good job by Canada hanging in front, making sure to get in the shot lanes. Because now it's every whistle, there's a conversation. There's San Jose and Minnesota having a chat. Middleton and Kaut. Goal scorer for Czechia. Familiar with each other's acts from the NHL. And the one thing you can't do, sorry Gord, is that you'll never push Czechia out of the game. You won't be able to kind of intimidate them in any way. They don't mind when it gets physical. They don't mind when it gets chippy.
A quarter century ago, they were the unquestioned kings of hockey. The 1998 Olympic gold medalists in men's hockey. 3 straight world championships. Carcone moves in and just missed the net there. And back-to-back world junior titles in 2000 and 2001. Carcone back with it. Goes to Myers, fires. Bemoka knocks that away. Out the other side, McBain digging for it. And Tyler Toffoli back out there for Joseph. Shoots, that tip wide. Inside 6 to go here. In the second period, McBain taps it back down to Carcone. Leaves it there for Toffoli. Carcone. Rips it low and back to Joseph. Across he goes to Myers. Myers across for Toffoli. That was poked away by Kondratek. Stolen back by McBain. Here's Jack McBain with it. Back he goes to Joseph. Across to Myers. Shoots. Tipped in front by Toffoli. And Vamilka makes the stop. He and Kondratek are into it. And Carcone in it as well. .5:19 to go here in the second period in a 1-1 tie between Canada and Czechia. Second period. Blast for the face-off, but it's won by Sobotka. Lifted back out, and Uyghur falls, in comes Cervenka. Drops it back for Saboka. Cervenka back in the corner. To the point he goes. Kostalik with a shot that was blocked by Uyghur. It's picked up by Lucic. Milk out to play it. Dvorak took a bump there from Glass. Glass back after it. And Dvorak off the boards and back down the ice. Uyghur, or Middleton rather, spins back. Looks there for Bear. Ethan Bear flips to the center ice. Krause chips it back for Neighbors. Jake Neighbors throws it back in front, and that's gloved by Vejmelka.
Czechia came out in the first 5 minutes of the second period and made a really good push, but since then Canada has settled things back down. Not quite as dominant as they were in the first, but no longer on their heels in their own end.
Gary Yellin's second year as the head coach of the Czech national team. He's coached all over the place. Switzerland. Also Finland, the KHL. Face-off, one back to Hunt. Across he goes to Bear. Winds and shoots. That deflects wide. Goes off the leg of Chernak.
It is so hard to get a point shot down to the net.
Now Hunt has to hustle back and poke that away for Baranek. And a penalty coming to Canada. Hunt's going to go for a trip as Baranek goes down with 4:17 to go. Or 4:16 to go, rather, in the second period. And the Czechs get their first power play of the game.
Kind of went wrong for Hunt when he couldn't field the fly ball. Well, it skipped off his hand, and Baranek with a full head of steam, so now he's chasing and not quite in good position. That's not the trip there. It's Baranek, as he tries to play a puck along the boards, he missed on the poke check and gets it underneath the feet of Baranek. He steps on it, down he goes. It's amazing when you start scrambling a little bit, you never quite settle yourself until you're away from the play.
Right. So the Czechs are 8 for 22 on the power play. Dominik Kubalik has 6 power play goals. That ties the single tournament record. He's one of 5 players to do that.
On his off wing, left shot, right side. Loves the one-timer.
Scramble draw, won by Lott, but now Schmeichel's got it. Krause has it taken away by Saboka. Back for Kubalik. Cross he goes for Kempney. Feeds that down for Cervenka. Cervenka. Back for Kempney. Being shadowed there by Krause. Slides it back for Cervenka. To Kempney. Cervenka. From the corner, being shadowed there by Uyghur. And goes back to Kempney again. Shoots off the goalpost. Bringing up the outside of the pipe. Middleton pokes at it. Saboka works it free. Drops it back. Kempney works it back across. Cervenka. For Kempney, that's tipped by Krause and back down the ice, and Canada can get some fresh penalty killers out.
Important clear by Krause. Canada really trying to cut the ice in half so Kubalik doesn't get his shot. Kempney elects to take one. Another post in behind Montembeault.
Cervenka works his way in. McBain got a stick on that now. Jack McBain rattles into the Canadian bench, and the faceoff will be in the Canadian zone with 53 seconds to go in the Czech power play.
So Kempney gets a couple looks. You understand Kubalik's being taken away. There you see Krause driving the middle. So Schmeichel's right in front. Montembeault is trying to work around him. Oh, he gets a piece with his glove before it scrapes the crossbar. Good recognition by Czechia as to what Canada's trying to take away.
McBain for the face-off. As Chernak. Can't win the draw with your feet or your hands, so the puck just sat there for a moment. Picked out now by Chernak. That was blocked by Bear. The loose puck goes to McBain. Short-handed is Jack McBain, who slides that back down to the Czechia zone. He'll go off on a change, and Canada gets more fresh penalty killers on the ice. This power play has 30 seconds remaining for Czechia. Lenz with it. Back across the spot check. Middleton. And that knocked away from Uyghur. Now Kondratek steps up. Uyghur pokes up for Toffoli. And Toffoli couldn't squeeze that by Kostalik. Kostalik back across the spot check. For Kondratek with a shot. And Montembeault got a piece of that. Final seconds now on the power play spot check. Back for Kondratek again. Kostelnik for Kondratek. Walks in and fires. He shot that wide as Hunt steps back out. Spot check. Works that back for Chernak. That's broken up by Middleton. Poke free now, waiting for it is to Foley, but knocked away by Chernak. Czechs need a change as Uyghur picks up the loose puck. Brad Hunt slaps that back down to the Czech zone. In comes Krebs for it now. Knocked away by Kaut, the Czech goal scorer. Martin Kaut. Chips that back down, and Joseph goes back. Hal Jordan works in. Plays back in the corner. Knocked out by Blade, brought ahead by Carconi. He's had a couple of good looks here today. Yet to cash is, here's Myers with it. Peyton Krebs at the Canadian goal, the first period on the power play. Here's Krebs with it now. Up for Carconi, back for Krebs, that's swept away by Michal Jordan. Jordan played the KHL this year for Haverovsk. He's the only KHL player on the Czech lineup. He's returning from last year's silver medal team, but Dominik Hasek, among others in Czechia, said that any Czech who played in the KHL should not be allowed to play for the national team. It was a controversial issue in a number of European countries. Kubalik, rink wide to Cervenka. Final minute now of the period. Cervenka drops. Zaboral in, fans on it. It's picked up by Joseph. Up for Krebs, that pass missed him. And Nemecek swings back.
Sabaka's in the Canadian bench right now.
He and Carconi are having words. Nemecek up for Zaboral. Knocked down by Cervenka, tries to flip that for Saboka. And now Myers ranges back. Taps it across to Ethan Bear. Two Vancouver Canucks defensemen working there to clear the puck out. And now stolen by Lawton for a moment, brought back by Chernak. Out to center ice, Justin Barron plays that away. Quinn bumps that back for Lawton, couldn't hold it. And it's whipped back down to the Canadian zone as Barron goes back, being watched by Barenka. And time winds down here in the second period. Goal by Martin Kaut ties the game up at 1 after 2 periods of play. As Canada and Czechia go to the dressing room here, even at 1 through 40 minutes.
Scored in game Sweden versus USA is 1-2. Shots on goal in the second period. Czechia 9, Canada 10.
Okay, first one, then second, then I drop. Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it. No, guys. Pull. When he's pull it, then I drop it, okay? First, second, drop. No! Hey, stay down, stay down.
2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Johan, 1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear Mike? Can you hear Mike now?
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2. Okay. Okay. Johan's hearing me okay?
It's all good.
All right, here we go.
Pack our bags.
Canadian coaches Andre Tournier, DJ Smith, and Alex Tanguay making their way to the Canadian bench very carefully on the ice.
They're hustling, running a little bit late. All that preparatory talk they were doing in their dressing room.
Here it's a 1-1 tie in Tampere, 3-1. The United States leading Sweden in the battle for first place in that group. Sam Montembeault, 1 goal on 13 shots so far in the game, was much busier in the second period than it was in the first when he faced just 4 shots on goal. Karel Vameko has already faced 29 shots in the hockey. Canada's outshot its opposition in every period of every game.
10-9 in the second period of that game. The streak continues. And they'd like to continue in the third period here. And the third period doesn't mean much. You're going to play Finland, you're going to play Sweden, US. It's going to be a good team, but you want the confidence of winning some good games.
Teams start this third period 5-on-5. Vladimir Sobotka shoots. That's off the stick of Uyghur. Up and out of play. Sobotka had a productive time in the NHL, 11 seasons. The Boston 4th round pick back in 2005.
Smaller guy, but very strong. And him and Jack McBain have been having an absolutely vicious battle for faceoffs.
Yeah.
Putting Glass out here for the right side defensive zone faceoff.
One by Sobotka for Kubalik to Kempny. Vladimir Sobotka. Knocked away by Toffoli, chops it ahead. Jake Middleton's jumped up for Canada. Oliver Carconian bumps that down in the Czech zone. Canada got a late power play goal. Late stage of the first period by Peyton Krebs. Czechs equalized. In the second, here's Sobotka, shot, Montembeault, save, rebound, put wide by Cervenka.
The first time I've seen an intentional line match by Canada. They were short-shifting their wingers. They want Krause's line out against Cervenka's.
In comes Krause, shoots, Sobotka save, rebound, Krause, and that tapped away. Canada is the home team, has the last change in this game. Krause to Quinn. Jack Quinn shoots from a sharp angle, that goes through the crease. Back at the point is Myers. Tyler Myers to Quinn. Krause steps up. Costello couldn't squeeze that by Myers. Sobotka had it rattle around on the skates of Quinn. Then goes back to Kempner. That puck took a funny bounce off the glass. And Barrett bumps it back across to Sammy Blais. Leaves it there for Hunt. Bear for Jake Neighbors. Winds it back through for Sammy Blais. Neighbors up for Blais. Blais throws that back at the point. Bear for Hunt, shoots. He whistled that high. He can really rip it.
Just powers it.
Here's Krebs. Back at the point for Bear with a shot. Hit Neighbors in front. And now Fleck with it. Fleck's been a really good player for the Czechs in this tournament. Useful in the fourth line. Can play up and down the lineup. Krebs works it back down. Here's Fantilli trying to work that free for Canada. And Fantilli back with it. And a stick is it by count. And Fantilli goes back after it. Back at the linesman there, brought ahead by Schmeichel, feeds it across. That's poke checked away by Middleton. Bouncing puck to glass, and Fantilli knocks it out. Lead pass to Lucic. Drops it back. Weegar in, shoots at the fucking wide. Lucic. Back to Mackenzie Weegar. Across he goes to Middleton. Shoots again. Knocked away by Vimmelka. And peppering the Czech goaltender with shots here. Maybe the wind is going from right to left.
Apparently.
Czechs are changing. That lead pass goes to glass and a long shot. Vimmelka gloves that and sweeps it back to Kondratek. Gloved down by Myers, but the puck leaves the zone. Spot check, drops it back for Kondratek. If you think this is noisy, wait till a Latvian's getting here tonight for the quarterfinal spot on the line. Spot check for Lentz. Shoots off the side of the goal, bounce in behind Montembeault. And Myers lets it around to Carcone. In for McBain. Jack McBain in across the line. Chips that down on Kondratek. McBain goes back after trying to find Toffoli. And the puck at McBain's feet. Picked up by Toffoli. Banks it back to Middleton. Shoots through traffic. That deflects wide. Hit Bozjaniluk. Bozjaniluk back with it. Banks that for Lentz. Two newcomers in the Czech lineup. Now Middleton. In behind Saboka. Works it and fires. Vimmelka gloves that. And is able to hang on.
Jake Middleton is always smiling. He's a defensive defenseman. And yet, he's playing on the first pair with Mackenzie Weegar for Team Canada. And he is logging a lot of ice time. He's had a bunch of shots. And every time he ventures out down the ice offensively, he almost has a smile on his face. And a little bit of fish out of water going down there.
One of several Canadians making his Team Canada debut at any level.
Bill Guerin loves him on his team.
Yep. Colorful character.
Yeah.
Off the face-off. Here's Quinn. Feeds it across. Myers in, shoots, scores! Tyler Myers fires it by Vimmelka, and Canada regains the lead. His first point of the tournament.
It's a big one. He's played hard physically, but this play is really nicely done. It's Lawton and Sabotka, the battle of two best face-off guys for each team. Quinn draws in Cervenka, who is the winger tasked with covering Myers. When Quinn walks the middle, Cervenka has to respect him. Slides it underneath, and then how about this shot? Ripping it 5-hole. That's intentionally 5-hole for Tyler Myers. Head up. Snapping right through Vimmelka. Canada regains the lead, 2-1.
Born in Houston, Texas, grew up in Calgary. Won a gold medal with Canada at the 09 World Junior, playing in his third World Championship for Canada. Did have some big goal-scoring years for the Buffalo Sabres. Big double digits there. Here's Bear with it. Drop that back for Neighbors. Neighbors back defending. In comes Fleck. On Barron. Fleck shoots and Montembeault makes the stop. And look out. Krebs tossed into the net by Jordan. And that sent the net tipping over backwards.
Lots of chatter here. Krebs doesn't like you. Jordan saying, I'm just driving the net. Krebs can't push me in the crossbar that way. This is a nice executed face-off play. Don't even think they talked about it. Just Myers reads it, activates a little bit, finishes. This has really been Canada's best game of the tournament. That's our 35-15. Favorite Canada. It's only 2-1 as the referees try to get the net back in one piece. See what the camera looks like in there now.
Faceoff will come outside.
Yeah, I think that's a sensible ruling for the faceoff outside, as it was Jordan who shoved Krebs into the crossbar.
Here's Kempney with it. Rattles out around Myers. Bounces back in the corner. Tyler Myers. Up for Quinn. Jack Quinn lifts that up. Winner of the game gets second place in the group and a date with Finland in the quarterfinals in Tampere on Thursday. Kaut plays it back across. And fired down by Nemecek, steered wide by Montembeault. Kaut, who has the Czech goal, bumped there by Joseph. Lawton couldn't clear it out. Schmeichel tied up by Kraus. And Joseph comes in to finish him off. Back of the point. Shot by Nemecek goes just wide. And Myers rattles that off the glass, gathers it back up. And Tyler Myers ranges up to center ice. Along with Jake Bomeister, two of the best skating big guys you'll ever see. Now Fantilli puts that free for Lucic. Hunt plays that back in with the late offside indicated. Vejmelka back to play it. Kondratek. Spot check. Knocked down by Fantilli. Montembeault with it. Across the Hunt. Laid back around for Lucic. Bump back around, a race for it. Now Hunt gets there. Spacek trying to close the wall on the shootout attempt. Spacek looking for the high stick, but it's the follow through of a pass. So it's not high sticking. Hunt moves it in. Not long ago, that actually was a penalty in the IIHF. The follow through of a shot or a pass was a penalty in the national rules, but not in the NHL. Now they merged the two rule books.
Some of the Czech fans don't know that. They see the trail of blood on the ice thinking there should have been a penalty.
Here's Riga with it. Chipped up by Toffoli. And a race for it now as Zaboro goes back. Kubalik for Zaboro, being shadowed there by Carcone. Moved up by Kubalik. Dominic Kubalik turns that pass ahead. The discarded gloves and stick of Spacek are still on the ice, and now the puck goes into the Canadian bench. 2-1 Canada leads here in the third.
Be here for a minute as the ice crew is cleaning up the trail of blood droplets that Spacek left on his way back to the bench.
Now Spacek has blood in his uniform as well, so he may have to change
his jersey off.
Yeah.
And he came out to talk to the ref to show the blood. There's the Miroslav Stroh of Switzerland explaining that on a follow through, we don't call high sticky penalties if you're playing the puck. And Brad Hunt was playing the puck up the wall when he clipped Spacek. Here it is. He's flicking the puck up the wall. And he goes into the hit face. Now, Spacek would say he had one hand on his stick. You don't pass the pucks with one hand on your stick.
Right.
A little bit of a gray area there. Call that goes Canada's way. Don't want to put Czechia on the power play. of Denver fans here in Latvia.
Yeah, who knew? Great atmosphere here throughout the last couple of weeks. Kubalik plays that back, and the best to come. We're in for a good night here tonight when Latvia takes on Switzerland with a berth in the quarterfinals at stake. Latvia needs a point. So just kept the game to overtime, and they're in the quarters. It's a Swiss team that has run the table so far. Kraus tries to work that free. Referee Miroslav Stolz from Switzerland is yelling at them. Kraus is yelling back. Wenger shoots, Milka save. Little tap there by Kraus. Saboka comes in.
Kraus got to be careful not to get his hand up into the face of Saboka. There you see Spacek now wearing 58.
Okay.
No name bar. He was 52. As evidence his helmet. But once you get some blood on your jersey, you got to clean it off or get it off. So he'll be 58 the rest of the way.
Krebs for the face-off. Scored the first Canadian goal late in the first period on the power play. Canada 4-1-1, as is Czechia. Canada over 4 straight wins, lost back-to-back games. Is now shot by Blay, that deflects wide. Here's Hunt on it. And they're beaten by Switzerland regulation and lost to Norway in a shootout. Blay plays it back in for Neighbors. Bear. Back down to Jake Neighbors for Ethan Bear. He falls, and Kempney plays another race for it now. Fleck can really scoop, but so can Krebs. And Krebs wins that race for the puck.
Sense of how fast-paced Krebs can be. His legs are going about half the speed of Flex, but he was going faster. With a longer stride.
Nemecek fires that down. Here's Glass after it. Back around to Myers. Batter Myers to Cody Glass. Zaboral keeps the puck alive at the point for Nemecek. Nemecek works in on Lucic. The centering pass goes by everyone. Glass on it, pokes it back to center ice. Kaut being shadowed by Lucic. Plays it across to Nemecek. In the feet of Kaut, picked up by Fantilli, shoots, got it back up, fires again for Milko the save. 2 good chances there for Adam Fantilli. Fantilli assists in the first couple of games. Now a steal again. Fantilli trying to work it around, sent down the ice by Kaut. Right on the mountain ball. Good shift for Adam Fantilli there. As Wenger works in. Mackenzie Wenger fires off the blocker again. But Milko, that might have hit the butt end of his stick again. It's amazing how often that happens. Wenger towards the Foley, chops that ahead. Here's Michal Jordan with it. Up for Spacek. Dratek bumps it back to Lentz. Midway point of the third period. Bojanelli in across the line. That play's called offside at the Canadian line. 9:53 to go here in the third period. 2-1, Canada leads. a 2-1 lead on Czechia. Canada's won 7 straight against the Czechs at the World Championship, and you may recall pretty intense meetings, 2 of them at the World Junior Championship this year. Including the gold medal game won by Canada in overtime.
I remember the last one.
Dylan Gauthier, the golden goal for Canada. He'll play the Memorial Cup next week for the Seattle Thunderbirds of the Western Hockey League.
Gunther can't stop scoring. He just keeps peppering them.
And Thomas Milic can't stop stopping. Goalie for Canada was terrific in the Western League playoffs. Back Rem Hartz, Peterborough Petes, Seattle Thunderbirds, and the Edward Blazers will take part in that Memorial Cup. And behind the goal is Chevenka. Here's the top line for Czechia. Up back, Svoboda. Across to Kempney, shoots that refs off the stick of Quinn, up and out.
The responsibility that this line is taking on is Lawton and Krause, reliable defensive players, but Jack Quinn's a young guy who's an offensive player, not necessarily thought of as a defensive lockdown guy, but he's going up against the top 5 for Czechia. Kempney, Dvorak, and the Cervenka, Sabatka, Kubalik line. It's a lot of responsibility for a young player, and a nice play there blocking that last shot.
Chernock wins that faceoff away from Krebs, but hit it with his foot. Can you imagine Guy Carbono and Kirk Muller with those rules?
No,
Ron Francis?
It's so hard. I think guys are plowing over top of you. Your skates are the only, if you're on your backside, who else seems to win it?
Saboro shoots, that goes wide. And you're done with it. Neighbors works in and shoots. Knocked away by Vejmelka. Blade plays it back in. There, Olivier Joseph. Back around the Krebs. Here's Myers with it. Saboro got spun around there by Krebs. Big hit by Neighbors and he stepped into Baranek. Blay lost his stick on the play. He ends up on a change. 8.5 to go in the third period. Zahorna works in, drops that back for Schmeichel, but the play's offside at the Canadian line.
Middleton, the stash is moving. Non-stop chatter from the bench of the opposition, the linesman, whoever's in front of him. And he ends it with a smile. Make sure
Always.
There's no hard feelings when it's all done.
A really colorful character.
Like, how do you not like that guy? Harold Snap somewhere smiling.
Jake Middleton and his teammate Lawson Krause had a bit of a dust-up this year in the NHL in a game between Arizona and Minnesota. They're roommates here in Latvia, so they put those differences aside for now, but they have made an agreement that they'll settle their first meeting next year. Here's Glass.
Hockey's a crazy sport.
Isn't it though? Like Dave Semenko used to fight Nick Fotiu every game in the regular season in the NHL. They were fishing it all summer. Count lost the handle there. Lucic looks ahead for McBain. Jumping in now. Here's Justin Barron moving and shoots. And Pavelka makes the glove save on Justin Barron, the D-man jumping in.
It's good skating off the puck for Justin Barron, showing no hesitation, even a 1-goal lead. He's been the 7th defenseman, trying to find his way in this tournament, trying to find a steady role and comfort zone. The Canadian families have started to trickle in the last few days.
Canada could be flying to Tampere tomorrow to face the Finns.
They win this game, they're going to Finland. If they lose, they'll be staying here.
Kempney back for it. Flips that back in deep. Weegar got a bump there on Bojanilek. Kenzie Weegar plays big and important minutes for Canada. As Toffoli chops that down, he has a rolling puck. Pedrate goes back, tries to milk it into an icing call, but he waved it off, and he took the puck from Carconi for his trouble. Here is spot check. Wearing the extra sweater. Kubalik in, shoot, he fired that wide. He could really rip it.
He's been quiet in this game. He hasn't said his name very often, but he doesn't need many looks.
Lead pass to Krause. In comes Lawson Krause on Kempney, and Kempney poked that away. Krause has a look back. Drops it back for Quinn. That shot deflects wide as Lawton chops it around. Here's Quinn back with it. Plays it back to Myers. Connor Myers shoots, deflected in front. Krause with a chance at it. And Pavelka makes the save.
I think Lawton got the first tip way up high by the top of the circle. That was good work in the offensive zone for Canada. Maintain possession, wins some puck retrievals. Myers has already got a goal, drifts it in. There's the first tip from Lawton. Pavelka has to fight off. Shots keep piling up. 40 now for Canada in the game, just 17 for Czechia.
Lawton wins the face-off back to Myers, who has the go-ahead goal. Here shoots, that deflected, and Pavelka made the stop.
He tried to wait. He had the stick in the air saying, okay, let's get the bodies in front, let's get some traffic. Czechia does a good job of a lost draw, boxing out. There's these two guys going at each other again, though. Sabatka and Lawton. Lawton who won the face-off that led to the goal.
Yeah.
Stronger side for Lawton here, though, or for Sabatka.
Not done fairly. Lawton gets a warning. Lines with Zukta from Latvia. Gets it down. Here's Quinn on it. Jack Quinn centers it, goes back to Lawton. Shoots. Pavelka leaning, makes that save. Way back in by Krause. Canada keeping the pressure on here in the third period. Lawton pumps it back around. Shots now 12-4 Canada in the third. Jordan banks at the center ice. Quinn had to leave it as Jordan brings it out. Myers picks his way out slowly. Slides it across to Uyghur. Or to Middleton, rather. Middleton pokes that back down to the Czech zone. Chernock got it there by Krebs. Krebs works it free. Pumps that back to Middleton. Middleton looks back behind the goal for Blay. Sammy Blay pulls that free. Blay banks it back to Uyghur with a shot. Hit a leg in front. Picked up by Neighbors. And finally moved out by Flack. Uyghur dances that back for Middleton. And ahead to Krebs, who sweeps that down to the Czech zone and head off on a change. Lead pass to Kaut, who has the check goal to Fleck. In comes Fleck on Myers. Shoots and fires that wide. Fantilli pokes it. That doesn't leave the zone. Then Zahorna flips that back in front. Bouncing puck. Montembeault down. And the puck rolled wide. Here's Myers back on it. Myers goes the other way for Lucic. And
Good
Lucic
job.
just muscled Kempney off the puck and sent it down the ice.
Just sealed him like, you're not getting near the puck. I'm getting it over the blue line. That's how you do it.
When he sets his feet in other parts of his anatomy,
You're only going around him. You're not going through him.
that pass deflected right by Schmeichel, bounces back to Middleton, now moved out by Fantilli.
Oh, high stick there. Spacek again. Fantilli.
So the Czechs will go to the power play with 4:20 to go in the third. sticking call to Adam Fantilli sends the Czechs to the power play for the second time.
Just glancing blow on Spacek's helmet, but enough to get the call. The Czechs, who have not had much going on in the third period, get their best look now.
Kubalik hasn't done much, but he's got 6 power play goals to lead the tournament. 8 in total leads the tournament goals and points. Off the face-off, Middleton's stick was tied up. Lott kicks it ahead, but Kraus couldn't get it out. Here's Kubalik. Dominic Kubalik feeds that back for Kempney. The pass misfired. Middleton was hot. He felt he got held up with that play. Now Kempney brings it out inside 4 to go in the third period. Cervenka winds in, scrambled on the line, and that puts it offside.
It's a good start. 30 seconds killed on pressure and denying zone entries.
Canada's penalty killing has been very good, killing off 20 of 22 so far.
You see right there, they try to pressure from the middle on down. They're trying to take Kubalik away, so keep the puck onto the offensive left side of the ice.
DJ Smith, the head coach of the Ottawa Senators, is in charge of the penalty kill and the decor for Canada, as Middleton sends that down.
Stick.
Lawton steals that, plays it back in deep. Lawton still causing problems there as Canada gets some fresh legs on the ice. Kempney up for Kubalik, fires that down. Montembeault steers that away. Minute to go in the Czech power play. Bear around to Myers, slaps it off the glass. That puck,
Oh, that caught
that hit
Middleton.
Middleton on the bench.
And Myers, oh boy, he's all right there. You're taught to get it up in the glass so that side of the head. Oh.
Kevin Elliott, athletic therapist for Team Canada.
Some water on his visor. Hopefully that's from the puck.
There's something that done fairly again.
Ethan Bear holding up Simon Shinek, a linesman. Make sure he didn't fall down.
The linesman just giving it to McBain there.
Jack McBain has been struggling with the face-off rules.
On his knees, loses that drop. Spacek drops it back. That long shot whistled wide by Kostalik, who loves to shoot from back there. 45 seconds to go in the Czech power play. Kondratek plays it back in for Lentz. Neighbors with the puck at his feet. Bear on it now. Significant back pass for Myers, and it goes off the stick of Chernak and back down the ice. 30 seconds to go in the Czech power play. Inside 3 to go in the third period. Kraus rolls that down. Kondratek. Up there by Uyghur. That disrupted that rush. Now brought in by Lentz. Run and Lentz. Lost the hand. Now Chernak on it. Here's Kraus. Rolling puck. Chips out ahead. Kraus with a chance now on Kondratek. And Kraus holds that for a moment. Gets tied up in the corner. And Spacek brings it back. Fantilli steps back on the ice. Rolling puck in front. The Czechs did not get a shot on goal in the power play. Fantilli fires it back in. Saboka after it. Picked up by Toffoli. Inside 2 to go in the third period. McBain knocked over. And Gaio seconds ticking off the clock here. Carconi after it.
25 seconds rugby scrum.
Just fine by Canada. And Toffoli throws it right back into the pit. Here's Middleton. He'll bring it back around.
Look out, middle. Kubalik was leaking out.
Oh, he was halfway gone. Now McBain back with it. Canada changing as McBain holds. He's a one-man scrum.
Look at this. Look at this. It's a full minute.
Middleton back on it. Czechs getting out of their own end. Middleton plays it back in. Knocked down by Kempney. Now Canada makes a change here as Kempney feeds that ahead for Cervenka. They get their top guys on the ice with a minute to go. Vejmelka inching out of the Czech goal. But they play it back to Zaboro. Here's Zaboro. Plays out ahead. In the corner it goes. Vejmelka makes his way up.
It's offside. He just touched it. Oh, they just wasted 20 seconds with an empty net.
A fan just threw something on the ice, a wig or something. And
So
that score!
now, Chernak touched this puck.
Right.
He touched the puck on the icing, and they waved it play on.
Lawson Krause gets the empty netter.
That was very strange. But I don't think you can review this. You can only review missed touches in the offensive zone.
You can't.
Not in what would have been the defensive zone for Canada. Chernak's got a point. He absolutely touched the puck below the goal line. But they can't call this back now, even if it's the right call. They let it go.
No.
It's just a missed call. You can't re-rack it 20 seconds. So here's Chernak comes in. Watch.
He touches it.
There it is.
So that should have been
That's offside.
That's offside.
But they clearly waved it off and they let it go, and 9 seconds later, Canada scored. Now, we know what the right call should be.
Right.
The question is, what are the mechanics to let them get to that? I'm not sure there are any. Yeah. They're pointing to center ice.
Yeah, that's going to be an empty net goal for Lawson Krause. That'll be his team leading 5th of the tournament.
I mean, it's clear. It's not a big touch, but he's touching. Oh, they just showed it on the. They just showed it on the TV. Gets a reaction. Lawson Krause wires it home. Apparently, under the bar is the best place to go on empty netters.
Yeah. Go shelf on the. We saw that earlier in the Slovakia game.
But missed calls are missed calls. They happen in the game. I'm not sure what the explanation could be here.
Andris Arneson's the Latvian referee explaining it.
And I think what they're saying is nothing we can do. So
it's rare for a team to ask to be called offside. So a 3-1 Canadian lead with 35 seconds to go.
It doesn't take away from the fact that Canada's been miles and way the better team in this game. Shots are 44-17 in favor of Canada. Now we're getting some stuff thrown on the ice. Bottles and glasses. I think that was a wig. One of the Yoggers threw the wig out there earlier.
During play, actually.
Remember the Jerome McGinley incident in Vancouver when he stepped on the jacket. Guys are skating around it. And this has been a good response for Canada.
Yeah.
Coming off a loss to Norway, they would have been disappointed. But they take that and play their best game of the tournament. And Vejmelka being told basically to stay in the net. He's not coming out.
Time winding down here in the 3rd period. And Canada's going to win its 8th straight game against Czechia at the World Championship. As a result, Canada will be 2nd in Group B and will fly to Tampere, Finland tomorrow to take on the host Finns in the quarters. Cervenka winds it and shoots. It goes high off the glass. Canada grabbed the lead in the 1st period. Tyler Myers scored the winner here in the 3rd. Another empty net shot, and Canada wins it 3-1. Canada's record goes to 5-1-1. The Czechs fall to 4-2-1.
And not to be lost in Canada's good performance, Sam Montembeault, solid once again. Didn't have to steal the game, but just beaten once on a breakaway. And that's the template. For Canada, there it is. That's the game. They have to play like that going forward to have a chance to continue on playing. Facing Finland in Finland, rematch of last year's gold medal game.
Yep. So now the Czechs fall to 3rd with 13 points. They can be overtaken by Latvia should Latvia win in regulation.
Right.
And Latvia does hold a tiebreaker on Czechia by virtue of their overtime win.
Does not change Canada's
No.
situation. They are going to play Finland no matter what.
So we'll get now the player of the game presentations and then the Canadian national anthem. Shane Doan on the right, Alois Hadamczyk, the head of the Czech Hockey Federation. Hadamczyk, former head coach of the Czech national junior team.
President of Czech Ice Hockey Association. Best player for Team Czechia. Number 50, Karel Stryjelka.
Karel Vejmelka.
He was busy.
Yeah.
He was good.
Faced 44 Canadian shots.
They've been juggling their goaltenders. They obviously chose the right one late here.
Best player for Team Canada. Number 19, Peyton Krebs.
He was buzzing early. Peyton Krebs opened the scoring in the first period, but had a very strong game, skating off the puck, responsible defensively. He was good.
Karel Vejmelka shaking hands with Shane Doan there.
It's all part of the Coyote organization.
Yeah.
The 2023 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship will continue today in Riga at 8:20 p.m. with the game Switzerland against Latvia.
Based on your understanding, what was the explanation there on that empty net goal?
But